It all goes down tomorrow. But before it gets underway, LeBron James, he spoke to reporters just moments ago.
What's the difference for you guys between a series, getting to figure out matchups and splitting how you're going to play versus just a regular season kind of?
It's just health. It's all boiled down to health with myself and AD in this franchise since we joined each other 5 years ago, or was it 4 years ago? 4 years ago. So it's always come down to health.
You have a familiar face with KCP in this series. What makes him an effective player, a winning player?
His energy. His energy is second to none. He plays at a high level every single game. His availability. He's always in uniform, and that's what separates him from a lot of guys in our league. He pretty much plays every game. And he's very experienced. So we know what we're going against when it comes to him, and he plays the game the right way.
You know, from 2020, Bron, you guys only have 2 active players left. When you met the Nuggets, they only have 3 rotational players. What's different about the Nuggets from that year?
They're better, but they were great then, and they're great now. But I think Joker has gotten 2 more years under his belt. Jamal has gotten back to his regular form after the injury, and the rest of those guys have been playing exceptional basketball. So, they're really good team.
How has Jokic evolved in the last couple of years, 3 years in his game, would you say?
He's continued to get better.
Beyond the obvious question, 4 wins to win a series. How do you feel like going to Memphis and winning a game, going to San Francisco and winning a game, help you out in the first 2 rounds? In one of those first 2 before you get back to Crypto?
Every experience is different, so Memphis and GS is behind us. Now our focus is on Denver, and we can't go into this series saying, okay, this is what we did last series or the series before. That's water under the bridge. So our challenge is upon us tomorrow night, and we got to be ready for it.
Is the altitude real? Do you feel it, and how so?
It is real.
How does it impact you and others?
You get tired a lot faster than you would if you wasn't in it.
In the first quarter, or is it throughout the game?
It's pretty much in the first quarter, a little bit in the second. The good thing about a playoff series, you're here for a few days, so it's just like when you go from East Coast to West Coast and the time difference. Makes you just sleep up for a couple of days, but then you get adjusted to it.
LeBron, you talked about kind of progressing through the different levels of the playoffs, level 1, level 2, level 3. But what's the biggest difference between level 3 and level 2 when you're trying to communicate to the guys?
As hard as we thought level 2 was, it's going to be even harder, this round. And that doesn't take anything away from GS because that was, I know I've had my battles with that franchise, so I know how hard it is. But, as you continue to get up into the numbers, like you said, level 3 is just a very difficult challenge. Both teams are, one step away from having an opportunity to play for what they started in the beginning of the year, and that's to play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. So it becomes very challenging.
You guys have within the course of the series, just wonder what it's been like with your staff. You get in the film room, all right, this is what we saw on the floor in this game. How much of that are you and Darvin and the coaching staff going back and forth?
That's what it's all about. Being able to make adjustments in between games and within the game as well. Because you come into a series, everyone knows everyone. It's not like you come in with new offensive sets and new defensive sets and things of that nature and new personnel. It's the same personnel that's been there, but being able to make adjustments, timely adjustments within the game, in between games is very helpful to both, for our ball club.
Going up against Coach Malone.
Lonnie, first time in this setting. What's your message to the young guys that haven't been this far before?
A little close. Just enjoy it. Have fun with it. And, at the end of the day, it's just basketball. It's basketball. Go out and play. We're all here for a reason. Obviously we got we got an opportunity to be great, and that's what we want to do. And we want to, showcase why we should be here in the West Conference Finals and go out and perform at a high level.
Of any team this postseason. The Lakers have really turned things around after their horrible start to the season, where they won just 2 of their first 12 games. This makes LA the 4th team in NBA history to be at least 8 games under 500 at any point in the season and go on to reach the conference finals. None of those teams went on to win it all, but 2 did reach the NBA Finals. Let's talk about it with Lakers reporter Dave McMenamin, who was in Denver ahead of the Lakers practice this afternoon. Dave, these 2 teams last met in the bubble back in 2020 during LA's championship run. In terms of guarding Jokic, what are LeBron and Anthony Davis taking from that series that can be applied this time around?
Well, Jay, after the Lakers beat the Warriors, Anthony Davis told us that him and LeBron had already looked back at that bubble series against Denver and marveled at the defense that Dwight Howard played on Nikola Jokic. In 5 games in that series, Jokic was only able to break 3 for 30-plus in one of them. You can kind of say that's the origin story for Jokic from going from a star to a superstar. Since that series, he's had 2 MVPs, nearly a third this year. And the Lakers don't have Dwight Howard on their roster to contend with a guy like that. So we'll see if Darvin Ham will switch up his rotation, much the way in the second round he switched with the rotation, gave Lonnie Walker the 4th role. Perhaps in this series it's time for the 6'9", 250-pound Tristan Thompson or the 7', 230-pound Mo Bamba to get some minutes. They haven't really been used thus far in the postseason. Those are 2 active bodies that the Lakers could employ, so it's not just Anthony Davis tasked with banging against Nikola Jokic 48 minutes a night.
Yeah, they got big bodies to throw against him, but Jokic is a bad man. LA 7-0 in the series against Denver, the most series wins without a loss by any franchise versus another. Dave McMenamin with the Lakers.
Vince Carter is with us now. And so, Vince, when it comes to defending Jokic, I know it's not an easy task, but what would you say is the ideal approach for Anthony Davis in this one?
The ideal approach for Anthony Davis, Shea, is to stay out of foul trouble. You just named those guys that you have on the bench, and they haven't been used much. But Anthony Davis, for one, needs to stay out of foul trouble, but use his athleticism, use his quickness. You know, he's extremely quick. You see there, quick with his hands. So those are the things that he's going to have to do is just keep Nikola Jokic guessing. You can't give a superstar the same dose and think it's going to always work because they're going to figure it out. So you just have to keep the Joker guessing and hopefully make him a passer, even though he's averaging a triple-double.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, but look, when it comes to Anthony Davis, opponents shooting under 30% when Davis is contesting the shot, not good news for Jokic, good news for Anthony Davis. But let's stay with this because so much of the offense for these 2 teams go through LeBron and go through Jokic. So how do you compare these 2 in this series?
I can compare them. I'll go with LeBron first. LeBron is a guy, he needs to get Anthony Davis going early. LeBron can score whenever he wants to or needs to. And you see there, rebounding at a very high clip. So he just needs to get rebounds, get out and run, and get guys going. His ability to find guys and get them open shots, particularly Anthony Davis. You get Anthony Davis going early. We've seen when Anthony Davis is dominating, he can get guys shots. And then on the other side, with Jokic, averaging a triple-double like we talked about, but his ability, obviously, down there to score, but he can just make plays for other guys. You put him at the free throw line. Yes, he's so hard to guard at the free throw line because he can make the right play and he finds guys. You know, his ability there, the offensive rebound. Usually offensive rebounding creates open three-point shots. So that's where they compare because they make and empower their teammates to play better, which as a go-to guy, that's what you want because now you can be the man in the second half or the fourth quarter.
I mean, you mentioned that Jokic is averaging a triple-double. He had three in the Sun series. It's remarkable. You can catch Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals tomorrow from Denver, 8:30 Eastern, right here on ESPN. Vince, we'll be back with you in just a minute. Hang tight.